Okay, so this is the fourth and final installment of my Quizbowl primer walkthrough, in which hopefully, as a new beginning program, you can use to be successful and know the ropes and start a successful program at your school. So there are two online communities which can be very helpful. One is for the state of Georgia, and it's the GATA Forum, and the other is for Quizbowl around the nation and world, and it's the National Forum. And so I'm going to walk you through both of these so you can see how you can use them and how they can be helpful, etc. So first, let's go to the GATA Forum. The GATA Forum, located right here. I keep it georgiaquizbowl.org index page, and it essentially is the location where you can go, and what I usually mainly use it for is to check out where it says non-GATA tournament announcements and see what tournaments are up and available and what's coming up on the horizon, what might we be able to compete in, etc. However, here you can see it's got a thread for GATA Fall, GATA Winter, middle school state, JV state, etc., etc. And if you click on, like, let's say the middle school state one that's right here, you can see it was held February 22nd, Collins Hill High School. It's the announcement there for you. The year before it was at Collins Hill in 2019. And you click on it and it'll give you information. It shows you who's registered, the field, who's coming, and what level they are, etc. And then after the fact, it probably indicates the results, and then it gives a link to the stats that are right there. And so it's no different here than for the non-GATA tournament announcements. I click on that, and here's the GATA events from this past year, 2019-2020. And that's where, of course, I can see what's upcoming, what's where, how is it, and so forth and so on. And all the information that is there. So here, let's look at our tournament, which was on January 25th, the same day as the state championships for middle school Page. We held what we call East 5 at Eastside. We call all of our tournaments East. It stands for Eastside Annual Scholarly Tournament. And here you can see that also in that same set of threads, individual tournaments post that they're hosting. So you can see that we posted right here that we are hosting this tournament. We tell you what question set we're going to be using. We tell you what the format of the tournament is going to be, how much money is it going to cost, where you can send the registration checks to, and so forth and so on. And that's a way by which you can obviously see what's going on and how, like, here's the middle school Commerce Clause at Commerce High School. You can see what set they were using. There was an NAQT middle school set to MS33, how much money you're looking at and how much it'll cost to register. Then, you'll be able to check from time to time, who's coming, who's going to be there. And you can see all the middle schools that are going to be present, competing. And then usually there is a post indicating the result. Here, the person didn't finish it up. But as for East, as you can see at the end of the tournament, we indicate, here's the stats, and go look and see how you did, and who finished at what level, and what was the results, so forth and so on. So that is the GATA forums. Other stuff that's here that's not posted recently. The last post was in 2016, but you have other things that are here. The other is hsqb.org. And here is the National Forum, and it is the place by which you can find the Quizbowl Packet Archive that we talked about before. Click on it, and there it is, all of the packets of questions that you can use to read to get better. And then here in the forums, there it is. You can see that high school and middle school section for Quizbowl located right in here. And so regular season tournaments, if you click on that, you can see this is where all of the announcements were. A lot of canceled because of obviously the pandemic, but as you can see, a little bit older, let's go to page 3, a little bit older. You can see that, here's announcement on that tournament that was at Vanderbilt, hosted on that same question set. Here we are, the Roanoke tournament that we attended. So click on that. So you can see this is how I found out about it in one of the ways, that where it was going to occur, what's the registration. And so, we decided, since a couple months later we would be hosting a tournament, before then, to get an opportunity to play the tournament, we went. And so you can see Eastside Georgia, along with all these other Virginia teams, we were able to go up there. We saw against whom we would be playing, etc., etc. But the national forums particularly You have, if you want to see discussion of your own region, Georgia doesn't have much here because we have our own forum. New high school teams, kind of like some suggestions of what you might want to do, how you might want to do it, etc. Just, of course, a place for discussion. In theory, there was a real interesting thread recently that you can see here, rethinking middle school novice difficulty, in that even the novice and middle school stuff is a little bit too difficult. And so he claims that in this sample middle school packet, this Chris Chiego, who went to UGA, then to San Diego, but now he is in Pennsylvania. Nevertheless, he talks about how the sample middle school packet, you have Orion, Switzerland, Edward Snowden, Tennessee Williams, double exclamation mark. It's really what middle schooler might be able to have heard of and get a question on. Tennessee Williams, William the Conqueror, Cain, Byzantine, Aaron Copeland, double exclamation point. But he has a good study guide that he links to here that is Quizbowl study plans for all levels. It's kind of more geared towards high school, but it's, like I said, a good place for getting information and just seeing what's out there and what's going on. There's a whole, of course, segment dedicated to middle school, so we can find middle school announcements on a national level all over the place, obviously, that you can see here, and just in general, all kinds of stuff to be a part of the online Quizbowl community. Tons and tons of people across the nation. I'm familiar with them because I see them post and whatnot instead of actually having met them in person. But nevertheless, it's how I keep abreast of what's going on in the world of Quizbowl on a national level and in times international level. So those two websites could be of great help to you in at least being aware of the tournaments that are going on in our state, or even tournaments that are going on that, if you want to travel out of state. In the last 2-3 years, we've gone to Alabama, we've gone to South Carolina, we've gone to Virginia for tournaments, and I was able to learn about that from the wider Quizbowl world. So I tried to be as thorough as possible in this document to give every aspect of the activity. Sorry about the length, but I am most eager to help in making Academic Team Quizbowl a viable, competitive, and thriving activity in Newton County, especially in the middle schools. I would like to see it that way. Maybe it would help the high schools, students coming into it, so I don't have to start from scratch. Usually when I have a good team core that graduates, it's almost as though I'm reinventing the wheel again, starting from the very scratch, and I would really like it if we could be more active in Newton County and more schools. So any way I can help you, any way I can provide assistance, guidance, any way whatsoever, I am more than willing to offer up my help and services should you need it. So I hope you enjoyed these videos, or at least found them marginally informative. One final thing I think that I can add, but I'll do it on one more segment. So again, I appreciate you watching.